Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the stream. I want to hold this up here and give a shout out to RL Morales Jr. Sending me cash apps, thanking me for a good show. I do appreciate it. You don't get pulled up on the screen like the super chats, but I do appreciate you taking the time to do that. Marisu says, this music slaps. You know, it is what it is. South Texas Shark saying hello. What's up? What's up, everybody? We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. I don't know where the stream is going to go. We'll see where we end up. But we do have a couple topics to talk about. And depending on what happens with you guys, because we're adding a new feature, and this is like a double dip situation. So down at the bottom, you'll see a scrolling banner. We haven't had those in a while. And we'll do this every once in a while. It's not going to be on every stream. But there's 2 bonus topics down there. And if you are someone that tips a $10 super chat, you will get to pick one of those topics for us to talk about, which is Pedro Pascal, all the drama about him licking lightsabers and stuff like that. There's a bunch of articles. If you guys want us to talk about that, you can tip $10. Or the Endymion, this is for the people on the Debunks channel, the Endymion voice actor crash out, which was on Twitter. We'll read that and see what he had to say. And it's self-explanatory. So Darren and 3W, all the context you need is going to be in the topic. So you don't have to know anything else. There's also a crazy, you'll see a $50 thing down there. Now, I don't expect anybody to do this, but let me explain what it is. And I don't know if you heard it or not, Darren, earlier when I was talking about it. I want to try something. It's sort of an experiment. So if somebody wants to donate a $50 super chat, which is a lot, this is not me saying like, yes, do it right away. What we will do is it will be an all or welcome stream where we will do a bonus stream, and I will drop the StreamYard link into the YouTube chat. For 1 hour. For 1 hour. So if we get a $50 super chat tonight, and again, these options will show up every now and again on the streams, but if we get a $50 super chat tonight, I will schedule a all is welcome stream, and anybody in the chat that can get on in time, first come, first serve, will be able to jump on and chat for an hour. So if you've ever wanted to be on this show, now's your chance. Donate $50.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to have some DMs together and sort of coordinate, you can. But I feel like it's a huge risk, so I had to put the dollar value high. So it's a little high, but we'll see if anybody gets there. But the $10 one is if anybody wants to like change topics, like if you want us to change topics. However, we do have the normal goal. All of this, of course, all of that would count towards the normal goal. You guys know how it goes. If you reach the goal tonight, it's really simple. It's 5 super chats of any value. There's any amount to reach the goal, and we'll do a poll and see. By the way, tonight we are tackling the one that you guys picked the last stream, which is DCEU versus MCU. Now, we could actually do that first before we talk about the topics. Would you rather would you rather do that first, or would you rather talk about the news first? Like in 3W, Darren, you can also obviously chime in if you want. Which one should we do first? Should we do the game first, or should we do the topics first?
Start off with the
up to you, but I can only stay until about 1:30. So,
okay, I'd like for Jake to be here too. I sent him the link. I don't know if he saw it yet or not.
I haven't talked to him today, so
I did send it over. He has it. I swear he has it.
Also, rip to Twitter DMs.
Right. So like tonight I'm like trying to send out messages to everybody. If you're one of our regulars and you need a link, like if you're in the chat, you know, you want to come on, you have to let me know directly, because Twitter DMs are completely gone. Like they're vanished.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't even talk to anybody.
No,
it's crazy.
I had my stream tonight, and I was like, suddenly I'm like, he's been messaging me all day. I've been trying to message him. Neither of us are seeing it. So I was like, all right, I got to go find out where else he has social media to get this person on.
AJ can't get the link because the DMs are down.
Well, I mean, he can DM me somewhere else on Discord or Instagram or something. True. But yeah, but Twitter's down for the count. All right, so I think the chat just wants us to jump into like the big topic and go ahead and discuss what that means.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and get the stuff pulled up over here. We'll use this link here. We'll use this. All right, so here we go. And I'm sure, Darren, you've already ran through the implications of this in your mind and what this means. But all right, so it's been confirmed now that Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars will get pushed back to December of their respective years. So Doomsday will come out December 2026 and Secret Wars will come out December of 2027. Before we start going over why this is happening and what this means, I think this is a great idea. I think putting these out as holiday movies is a great idea. It's going to maximize the money, and it's them sort of showing us that there is, they want $1 billion out of these films. This is what they're trying to do. They want to get as close as they can to historically what has been $1 billion franchises for them. So I think that's what's happening here. But there's a lot of things that this changes, obviously. So Darren, do you want to give your thoughts on it as well?
Yeah, no, I think, like, obviously people are upset, people are sad. Of course, this is another 6 months we have to wait. It's now 1.5 years out instead of a year. I understand that. But I think just all around, this is the best thing this movie can do. This movie was filming a year before it had to come out. Arguably one of, if not the biggest franchises of all time. One of the most VX heavy movies that you will ever see. There are various different castings and blah, blah, blah. I think for the film's best chance at quality, I think giving that another 6 months is probably the best thing for them. And you know, I know we're going to be stir crazy having to wait a whole 1.5 years, another 1.5 years of talking about this movie. I know it's been a long time.
One of the big criticisms was how they had to rush. Remember, there was a lot of conversations about how they were going to pull off the VFX and post-production on this movie because of how soon it is. Well, now you don't have to worry about that. We're going to have plenty of time for them to do that and get it straight. 3Dub, are you sad about this, or is this okay with you?
I think it's a good idea. Also, it kind of leaves up the imagination that there could be a movie in 2027 that ties into Secret Wars. Also, that hasn't been announced, and also any character that or the storyline that doesn't add up like chronologically will make sense now.
I 100% agree with you, 3Dubs. I think, because all week there's been a rumor going around. I'm not saying it's true, but there's been a rumor of a third movie maybe, you know, being revealed at San Diego Comic-Con, and I've been like, no, there's no time. They can't do it. Now there technically is time to do it. So, we'll see.
Hold on a second. The super chat sound came through my headphones, and I'm like, what the hell? It was so loud. It's supposed to come through my speakers, so. All right. There we go. All right. Hopefully that fixed it. StreamYard has been weird today. Everything's been weird today. Anyway, so what this means is, let me pull this up over here. So we have Fantastic Four First Steps on July 25th, 2025. No changes to that. I think they're pretty confident with that movie, whatever it's going to end up doing. Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to be July 31st, 2026. So this is where things get a little interesting, because originally Spider-Man was supposed to be between the movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think, and put on your tinfoil hats, everybody, I think that Marvel and Sony reached an agreement about using Spider-Man and Doomsday, and now they want to they want to give the Spider-Man movie
more
an
time
opportunity.
to film now. Yeah.
They want to give so my theory is they're going to rework Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Yeah.
And they're going to use that to set up Doomsday along with the Fantastic Four. So we're going to have another movie to help set up Doomsday.
You know, I actually kind of disagree a little bit.
Okay.
I think this means it's more grounded now. Okay. I think it being before, it could set up some stuff too, but I think there's been a lot of rumors these last couple weeks about it being more grounded, having more grounded characters, and I think that they are probably now focusing on it being a more just Spider-Man story. And then whatever potentially comes out in between Doomsday and Secret Wars will be their new project to set things up. To me, this is like everything around this, I just think screams good news for Spider-Man.
I mean, even if that's what it is, I'd be okay with that. I think all around, regardless of what it ends up being, Well, the one thing I think is actually happening now is they have access to Spider-Man for Doomsday. I do believe that now.
Yes,
Yep.
I think
agree with that.
yeah. I think that's
I was
possible.
calling it. I called it.
But I don't know. I don't know if Spider-Man is going to be a big part of it, or if they just have the ability to put him in now, like before the incursion starts or whatever. But the question now is, are we getting another movie before that? Are they going to announce another movie before?
There is one for November.
Right. But what I'm saying is that what we're going to get? Is that the big announcement they're going to make? Is they have another movie before Avengers Doomsday? And if they do, what movie is it?
Yeah, that.
What would it be?
Also, I think there's going to be another movie announced for 27 to kind of tie into Secret Wars.
There are spots for 2 more movies, and I don't know if that's what they're going to do. I know the rumor is that at San Diego Comic-Con this year, they're going to unveil the rest of Phase 6 on that roster. I think, I don't know, like, I've been seeing people go around the thing of being like, okay, is it Black Panther 3? I was like, it's not Black Panther 3 because Shuri's in Doomsday, right? She won't have time to film another one. The one that just makes sense to me.
Also, I think Ryan Coogler would probably be hard to tie down before Doomsday. Yeah, most likely.
I think it's Doctor Strange 3. Like, he is yet to be announced for.
There was also rumors of the title of it being about incursion, so I'm wondering like if that was
this week especially. There's been like 5 different accounts that were like Doctor Strange 3 is happening, and that could totally be bullshit, right? Like it could totally not happen.
However, if you know the story from Secret Wars, Doctor Strange is extremely important.
Where did he go?
Does that happen often with him?
He got blipped.
Oh, okay. Maybe there was an audio issue or something. Doctor Strange is really important for Secret Wars. So his movie, more so than Spider-Man, would be one you could use to set up. You could set up the Doomsday Secret Wars storyline. Welcome back, Jake. You blipped there for a second. I was like, where'd he go?
Am I here?
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, like I'm looking on the StreamYard or like the thing here, and I cannot see my camera for some reason.
Like you're not on the screen with us?
No, like my name is there, but it's just like a blank thing. Am I visible on the stream?
Yeah, we can see you.
Okay, that's weird.
I've had that previously too.
Did you wave your hand in front of yourself?
I just sent you what it looks like, Eric. That's what it's popping up as for me.
Let me see. Hold on. Oh, so just like a blank box.
I've had that before. I've had.
1 second.
So what do you have to do to fix it?
I haven't. Oh, now it's a blank box for you.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Oh wait, hold on.
I've done that previously where like I've done a whole stream where my guest was just a black box and I had to just go with it. I was like, oh, I guess their camera's not working or something, but it showed up on the stream fine.
Yeah, it's on your side, so I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I can see like my little box in the viewfinder down here, but like not on here. I mean, if I'm showing up there, that's good.
Yeah, I'll show you. Hold on, I'll use my production camera over here. I don't normally have it on, but I'll show you like right here. Like, there you are.
Oh.
So.
Okay. Well, this is things just got out of hand talking about.
I mean, do you want to you can restart your computer if you want.
Sure. Yeah, I'll try that. Hold on.
Yeah. Go ahead. A fire broke out at Twitter data center today. Oh my god! So is that what's going on?
Oh.
Is that really, Cody? That really happened?
Wow. I need to look that up.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy to me. Okay.
There was also some weird stuff with Cumberbatch about his filming in these next Avengers movies, right?
Yeah.
Where like he like started out being like, I'm not in this movie, and then he's like, oh, I am in this movie. I wonder if he got mixed up where like he was filming.
Yeah. I also think there's a possibility that they almost knew about this a while ago. Like people at the top of Disney knew about this because a lot of conflicting news was coming out and now it's starting to make a little more sense.
Yeah.
So
I shared something.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Fire breaks out at a data center released by Elon. Oh.
That's crazy. All right. Well, that would explain probably why they're not able to. It's probably the data center that hosts their messaging system.
Right.
If I were to guess, but Jose saying people are also saying Spider-Man Brand New Day will be delayed so they have more time. I think this is a good. So look, I want these movies to come out as much as the next person, but I feel like these delays are acceptable delays. They're not crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's the same year. So yeah, it sucks that it's a little bit later in the year, but it's the same year. And
Well,
I want them to be the highest quality possible, so I'm okay with a small delay in
Doomsday
time.
and Secret Wars are not a stranger to
Delays.
delays.
No, for sure. I don't know when they would move Spider-Man though, because it's already July.
I don't think they are.
I don't think they are either. But they already have Avengers in December, so the only way you could delay Spider-Man is if you delayed Avengers again.
Is it still not showing up?
Yeah, but screw it, it's fine. So what was the topic? Oh,
We're just talking about the delays to Doomsday
yeah.
and Secret Wars. So
honestly
have a
think that's for the best.
I was going to say, you want to go ahead and say what you have to say, and then we're going to answer the super chats. So
Yeah, I honestly think that's for the best. It gives them plenty of time to, touch up the visual effects. Which has been that's been one of the things that has been criticized for a lot of these movies is that the VFX artists were stretched thin and that things were rushed. So gives them time to resolve any of those. This also makes it to where Disney's not having to compete with itself, so it gives Mando and Grogu that free spot.
but
That
it
is
fucks with-
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
that is
didn't even
true.
think about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So that they're not having to fight with themselves, basically.
I think Mando and Grogu could be a very financially successful movie for them. So
Yeah.
it makes a lot of
So
sense.
too, definitely good.
But what about Dune? What about
Maybe.
Dune? Dune
That's
comes out
another thing.
in December, right around the time of
December is
Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah.
insane.
Right.
Now. Oh, go ahead, Jake. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I see people panicking about the whole Spider-Man bit where they're like, "Oh, so is this mean it's gonna be moved and everything is gonna be have to be worked around with the plot?" It's like that's not that doesn't mean the movie's screwed because look at what happened with the last Spider-Man movie. It was supposed to come out after Doctor Strange, and then
Right.
if anything, the way Spider-Man ended up playing out, the fact that Doctor Strange came out after it, in my opinion, kind of makes Doctor Strange better. Honestly, it makes both those movies better because of the way they played out. So, just doing a little bit of reworkings. I mean, it's not like scripts for all those things are finalized as of yet. So,
Right.
Yeah.
they can work stuff around if they need to.
Lance, if you want to come on, let me know. I can send you a link on Facebook.
Also, Darren, I sent you something.
Anyway, but we're going to continue to talk about this a little bit as we go through the chat tonight. We do have the DCEU versus MCU battle that we're going to be doing here in a second. Now, the fun thing about that is while we're doing it, they will be 10-minute discussions for each battle, and then the chat's going to get to vote on who they think wins as well. So it's going to be so much fun. I'm really excited for that. We'll be doing that in a moment. But let's take a look at these super chats. This one's relevant to what we're talking about now from Cody, $5 super chat. This now leads me to believe that Shang-Chi 2 was a Battle World film before everything happened. Maybe.
Maybe. A lot of people were theorizing that Brand New Day was going to be that too, and that it was going to be in a battle worldified, that's not a word,
Right.
version of New York. But now, they have just gotten into where it's able to take place in a normal New York City, which hasn't really been showcased in Holland's movies that much as of yet.
This
so.
is for the best.
Yeah.
I think this is definitely for the best. I think, and like you said, Eric, you can't also just set a foundation for what that movie is going to be, even if it isn't direct continuations. And I think the main conversation will be what's the post-credit scene, or what is the end of the movie.
Well, the thing is that those two movies now give them the options of possibly 4 post-credit scenes to set up Doomsday.
I would not be shocked if they brought back the what the fuck endings that he had for movie 1 and 2, where he's just what what's freaking going on or whatever.
Yeah.
Downey just pops out of a portal on the TV or something. He's freaking Tony, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so we have a little bit of drama in one of these super chats that might be pertaining to you guys. So let me drop this down here. All right, here we go. Cameron with a super chat. Eric,
Us here, Jake.
Eric, have you seen Gore the Movie God's post on Community Post on YouTube talking about Council of Creators? I looked at it briefly when you first super chatted. It's a lot. Have you guys seen this?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I'll just go ahead and say this. It's also a lie.
Okay. So because you super chatted, I'm not going to pull it up. Should I pull it up on screen? I guess I can. Hold on. Why not? Why not? And then you can set the record straight while we're talking about it, because I think it's I don't know. I think it's interesting, but let's see. All right.
I know. Yeah.
Drama alert. Okay. Keemstar in the house. I heard that Council of Creators kept referencing me again tonight. When was this? When would this have been?
Last night.
Last night. Okay. Someone linked me to a timestamp, and yep, very positive stuff. I left the group earlier this year after a verbal fight with one of their members, but I made it clear to Chainsaw Reacts many times that I wasn't feeling the vibes of the group anyway, so it's fine. I also was that the stream that you were talking about last time, Jake, about the New Year stream? Okay.
Yes.
I also said that I don't have any issues with anyone in the group besides the person I had the fight with, but the whole vibe is not for me anymore. I mean, that's fine. Like, none of that's a problem. I don't think that's an issue if somebody wants to, like, step away from a group they don't feel like they're a part of. It's fine. I can only hear the same comic book movie take so many times until I lose my mind. That's fair. I even left earlier last year because I wasn't feeling it, but ended up coming back eventually. I didn't bring this up to Chainsaw because I'm the only one that just doesn't care about comics, so it wouldn't be fair to ask for some sort of change just because I didn't care. I mean, none of that sounds outrageous so far. I mean, it sucks that there was a fight, but I mean, if you don't like the topics and stuff, you don't have to be a part of a group. That being said, the past couple months, I would from time to time join their live stream chat just to say hello or leave a sarcastic comment, which is something I always did back then, but either got ignored or got some snarky ass negative response back to some of the more volatile members. Seriously, get some anger management, babe. Do you know what that's about at all? Like who that is?
Sure. Yeah. We don't need to mention it here, but yeah.
Okay. All right. I just didn't know if you guys. I was just trying to make sure that you guys knew what he was referencing.
Oh, yes.
This is after Chainsaw was telling me, yeah, man, we want you back multiple times in Twitter messages. I understand Chainsaw doesn't want anyone to feel left out or doesn't like the drama, but don't lie to me when it's obvious that's not true. So I left a couple. Well, I mean, when somebody says that, I don't think they're actually speaking for every single individual person. You know what I mean? Like, if I were to message someone and say, hey, we kind of miss you. When I say we, it's sort of like the people that actually you would know miss you, not necessarily every single individual. Like, I couldn't speak for everybody that's ever been on the after party and the Nocturnal Nerdcast and say that we want you to come back. Clearly, you know there's some people you probably don't get along with. That's fine. Where's it at here? So I left a couple of tweets about them being man-children. I did see that, which they are, and so am I, by the way, so don't take it too personally. Well, then, okay. But that was mainly to vent because I don't have a Discord group to vent to. Again, this was after they had already treated me the way they did. Any comments on that before we move on? Because we're almost done. Anything? I don't know enough about this. And then we can... Look, I really like the fact that this is drama that doesn't involve me. If it's drama that involves me, I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. But like, I'm loving the fact that it's.
This has been a long time. This has been a long journey.
Look at this, 290 thumbs up though.
Like it's been something that's going on for way longer than it should have, and it's gotten to the point where it's just beating the dead horse, doing the same song and dance again.
Okay, well, let's get through all of this, and then we can move on. Thank you for the super chat, Cameron, by the way.
I'm not like upset at you for bringing that up. I know you're not like in the know about all this. So
the thing is that you guys know behind the scenes stuff, but everybody else just knows what happens publicly. I also made a community post a few months ago that I deleted expressing disappointment that they were still referencing me in their shows in a negative light. And yes, I unfollowed some of these people on Twitter before one of them used that as a counterpoint. Well, you unfollowed me too, and I don't have anything to do with this. So I don't really know what that means. I don't need to be reminded of people that will ignore me and treat me like crap, so I unfollow them. You bet your sweet Bippy I did. Also, the comic book posts were getting on my nerves, so I unfollowed plenty of other people as well and had nothing to do with the group. All in all, there was some fun in the group, but I truly wish I never accepted Chainsaw's invite for the episode of Council. Wow, that's... What?
Really? Yeah, he was on the third ever one that we did.
Yeah, but why would you say this? I truly wish I never accepted Chainsaw's invite for that episode of Council back in 2023.
Crazy.
I don't get that. What does that even... First of all, that's a massive negative towards Chainsaw, from what I can tell, who hadn't done anything to Gore. So, anyway. I gave up a lot of my time to show that I gained nothing from. Time is valuable, and I'm not getting any of that back. Sad day. I could have watched so many funny memes in place. Could have watched Breaking Bad or Sopranos. Damn, I wish I did that instead. My fault, I guess. So, okay. I don't know enough about the behind the scenes stuff, so I'm just an outsider, like, looking at this. But if someone is unhappy, absolutely 100%, like, leave the group that you're in if you're not happy there, right? But if you are that unhappy, why are you going back into their streams and commenting in their chat and stuff like that? Like, that seems to me like you are either trying to stir up trouble or you are not as unhappy as you are trying to convince us that you are, that you still want to be a part of the group. Because otherwise, why would you do it? That's my 2 cents. That's all.
It just shows that you have a desire for things that you're no longer a part of to kind of crash and burn when you're not there and say things purely for the sake of stirring the pot just to get a rise in a reaction out of people. And, leaving sarcastic comments in one nature, you can tell when it's purely there as a joke versus when it's placed to purposefully try and get a reaction out of one or more people. So clear difference there.
So, but you did say that there were some untrue statements in there, Jake?
Yes.
Like, is there anything specifically that you think you should clear the air about before we move on? Because,
well, being referenced multiple times this past Wednesday night, that first part in and of itself is false.
I don't think we referenced him at all.
No.
Oh, okay. So there was no like conversation about him or anything like that.
And
okay.
And I'll go ahead.
I mean, we talked about him on my stream, but he didn't say anything about that. So I mean, this is not counsel.
And I'll go ahead and say this too. That whole thing of someone has, like someone linked me the stream, sent me a timestamp, this, that, and the other. That excuse has been given multiple times over the course of these past few months in regards to one thing or the other on a certain stream. And I can say with full confidence that that's not true. No one, quote unquote, sent him anything. He watched it himself.
Well, there we go. Anything, Darren?
Like, listen, there's a long trail of history at this point. Like, a lot of things have been said and done, and I don't know how much of it I'm comfortable talking about live.
Yeah, I don't want you to feel pressure.
To me,
yeah,
right. But like, if Gore is watching this, and he very possibly might, I will say that I'm sorry that we couldn't reach a new understanding. I think we were very close. We invited him back multiple times, and we just couldn't make it work. And I hope you the best in your next ventures. I hope we can all move on from this, and we can all be happier for it. I think, things happen, and I hope you have a good life.
That's cool. Yeah, Cameron, don't be sorry about it. Like, I don't think anybody. As far as I know, I don't think anybody here is part of that specific drama that happened in the stream back in December.
Oh, we were both there.
Yeah, we were.
No, you were there, but I don't think you're the ones he's talking about, right?
No.
Like, you're not.
No,
okay.
no,
So,
no,
yeah.
we're
Not directly. No.
Yeah. So, all right. With that being said, let's take a look here at some other stuff. Thank you for the super chat, though.
Yeah, use that $5 to buy a Starbucks or something.
It says here, this will set off a wave of date changes from multiple studios. Holiday 2026 completely changes as Warner Brothers will move Dune Part 3. Sony Pictures abandon ship on Jumanji 3. 20th Century will move Ice Age 5. Big question is, are there enough screens for Avengers and Shrek?
Wait. Isn't there already a Jumanji 3? I thought there were 3 of those movies.
No. I mean, there are, but like, this is from this new era of
There's
Jumanji
only 2.
movies.
The ones with The Rock? I thought there were 3 of them.
No,
Nope,
it's 3.
2.
Oh, God. Okay.
I see the first comment says, I think Dune Part 3 would hold its own. The only problem is Warner Brothers can't take a risk. They can't risk it.
Nope.
Dick measuring isn't going to work here because of the fact that they are not doing well financially. So
Yeah, they don't really have, like, a leg to stand on.
I think Dune does so well because they've kind of been in eras where there weren't a lot else in theaters when they were coming out. And I think, some of these franchises do better than others. I think it'd do good. I think it'd do better not against, like, an Avengers movie. The only movie out of this category that I think can hold its own against Avengers is Shrek. Shrek is the only one that I'd argue could maybe.
Which is why I don't think
more.
I don't think that Shrek is going to move. I think Shrek will probably stay.
Yeah.
And even then, that one's got, like, not like a hate campaign against it, but there's so much skepticism.
Oh, because of the redesigns? Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that.
But even then, it's Shrek. It's like it's the first Shrek movie in what is it, almost 15 years.
Yeah.
Like Shrek is arguably bigger than any character Marvel has at this point. I'd argue, like next to like Spider-Man, Spider-Man and maybe like that might be it. Just like pulp culture
Yeah.
recognizability, it's like arguably probably in like the top 10 most like recognizable characters of all time. Like it simply will.
And yet a spin-off movie was the most successful one in that franchise so far.
Puss in Boots.
Yeah.
So
I still I'm gonna get hate for this. I know it. I still
here
have
we
not
go.
seen The Last Wish yet. I'm trying to get around to it. I know it's really good. I mean, I'm somebody who I understand this is an unpopular opinion. I love the first movie. I think that it's extremely underrated. And Darren's even told me that if I like this first movie, then I really enjoy the second.
Oh, if you like one, you'll adore two. It
That's
is
what I've
like
heard.
night and day. I don't know if they mentioned Ice Age here.
Yeah, they
Ice
did.
Age will definitely move because that's both Disney. So what they totally did is they just put the Avengers 5 spot in the Ice Age place.
This is Ice Age 6, though, isn't it? Not
This
5?
Ice Age, it is. It's 6. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
6.
because they say 5 here in the post.
Right now. Yeah, it's 6. And I wonder if that gets pushed up or pushed back. Like that could get pushed back all the way to 2027, which would be interesting.
I mean, does anybody like have I guess like any anticipations for these franchises?
I grew up on Ice Age, man. Those movies were like a pillar of my childhood. So I'll unfortunately be there day one.
Unfortunately,
Ice Age and Shrek for me too.
Well, I do believe that Mando can now wreck house. You're right, Cody. Like
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
it can
yeah.
go crazy
Yeah.
on that one.
Movie
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the summer now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now that the Avengers is like out of that spot, they're not having Disney. Like I said earlier, Disney's not having to fight.
I
this.
actually think this is also strategically for Disney. It's smart because you're putting two movies that are possibly billion-dollar movies apart from each other.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
even like you could even break them apart with a couple months because like Avengers and Spider-Man did that back in 2019.
Mhm.
You like 2.5 months apart, and they both made $1 billion.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, 100%.
And it's not going to hurt people's pocketbooks as much as
Well, that's the other thing is I think they're thinking about that. I do believe that's part of the reason.
Yeah.
they're so considerate of us.
I'm looking at Jumanji 3 and I'm so curious because both of its previous ones have had a December release and they both have done very well for them. That has financially did them very well. I don't know if they want to move. I feel like they are very happy with that Christmas date that they have secured. But if
Which
they
one?
don't, Jumanji 3.
I
Okay.
mean that's just a good time frame for blockbusters kind of period.
Christmassy, yeah, it's a good family fun, turn your brain off kind of thing.
I also
So-
think they're going to have to take into account what their demographic is, like who's coming to see the movie,
That is true.
things like that. So,
'Cause
But
it'll be
like, I
people-
think,
Oh, good.
sorry, good. Like, I think if you ask people Avengers 5 or Jumanji 3, most will pick Avengers 5. It's just simple as that.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, like, what is their game plan?
I actually
They could
think
move it
Jumanji will
up.
probably do good on streaming. Like,
It
at the $25 price point, I think it will do good. Most of the time, family films are on the upper end. Like, if you go and you look realistically at the movies that do well at home, the ones that do up to like 50 million extra or more are typically the family movies.
Right. I could maybe see them moving up, like move up to like Thanksgiving as like a Thanksgiving outing kind of thing. I could maybe see that.
So just swap one holiday with another.
Yeah.
I mean, technically you could. That
Yeah,
would- that would
I mean,
work.
everybody's going to be spending their money around Christmas anyways.
Yeah. But I will say this. I know people have joked around about like Marvel flops and this and that and the other. If you think that this movie is going to go into theaters lightly, either one of these two movies, you're highly mistaken. These are going to be cultural movies. Like it's going to be like Infinity War and Endgame all over
Yeah.
again.
And then,
So-
like, even your ones that people don't look at fondly now, like Age of Ultron, people don't look at it fondly now, and even then, people still had their harps about it. Still
It
made
was a
one
big
point.
hit.
Still made 1.2 billion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's the point.
Yeah. So I
Like
think
that-
Avengers 1 did 1.4, I think, and Avengers 2 did 1.2. I think that's what it was.
Was
And-
it 1.2? I thought it was a little bit higher.
Was it? Maybe.
I
Might be.
thought it was like 1.4 or something. I know Avengers 1 was the first like MCU movie to do
Oh.
that.
Anthony says Dune 3 hasn't even started filming. That's true.
Yeah, which is why like
they could get pushed. Yeah.
Well, not only it could get pushed, but a lot of people were, some of the smarter people were kind of throwing away those Robert Pattinson rumors. They're like, it's not even like started filming yet, and at the point whenever those rumors came out, I don't even think the script had been finalized.
No.
They're gonna wreck us because Doom is gonna win at the end of Avengers 5. By the way,
Have you guys seen that whole conspiracy about like all the logos for the Avengers movies, and that every time it's a full circle around the A is a time where they win, and when it's a half circle, they lose? Because if you look at Infinity War, it's got a half circle around it. They lost in that movie, and the rest of them have that full circle A around it, and they won.
I don't think people have truly realized this fucking repeating GIF here has got to stop. Hold on.
What, that thing down there?
Yeah, it's like annoying me. Hold on.
I mean, it's
All right.
easier to see that than every comment section I open up seeing.
Oh, true.
Battlefield 3.
I don't think people truly understand what a reset means at the end of Secret Wars, because we're gonna have characters that are just gonna disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what the comics did too. Like they played fast and loose with what was working and what wasn't. They kind of put aside what wasn't. They took what was and they moved forward with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Darren.
This is probably a very stupid thing to say, but I feel like it at least needs to be in the conversation. Is there a chance that it could maybe be Christmas themed? Like, they know enough ahead of time. I'm not saying it's going to be a full-on Christmas movie, but like there could be themes of Christmas within it.
That it takes place in the time of Christmas.
Yeah, maybe it's just a little snowy or something.
Yeah.
Like, that may sound silly, but like they've been trying to do consistently a Christmas thing pretty much once a year. If that's What If that's Hawkeye, if that's Spider-Man, if that's the
Maybe.
Guardians Christmas special, like almost every year there's been like a holiday special. So I don't know, maybe like, Spider-Man's at like a Christmas party or something. It pulls away. I don't know, like you could do a little something there.
Hey, what's up, Michael? How you doing? Good way to support the channel by clicking the like, thumbs up button. It goes a long way to help growing the channel. Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate you. All right, so staying in the MCU world, this is a rumor, but I wanted to talk about this because this would make so many people upset. So the the new Avengers, like the next phase of the Avengers, right, would be obviously Sam, Joaquin, Captain Marvel, Bruce, Wong, Shang-Chi, and She-Hulk.
You mean Captain America's going to lead the Avengers?
Yes.
What?
I'm so shocked.
What? So we're in a hypothetical world. Say this is the correct lineup, right? These are the characters that are going to be with the Avengers when the incursion's going on, and we have the new Avengers, we have the Avengers, and we have the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. Does this lineup sound good?
I don't think there should be like two Hulks on the same team. I just feel like it's overcrowded with Hulk. I think either Bruce Banner's not going to be there or She-Hulk's not going to be there.
I mean, your version of the original Avengers had 2 Iron Mans for a lot of it, and no one really complained.
Wait, what Avenger?
War Machine was basically another Iron Man.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't technically officially until Infinity War, so that doesn't count.
He was there pretty much.
I think he was in every Avengers movie as a character.
Except for Avengers.
He's
Well, not the
Avenger.
first one, but everything after that.
Yeah, I mean,
Avengers 2, he was basically...
He was in Civil War as well. So
yeah. So I mean, and plus, it's not as though they would be like on the front lines together the entire time.
If you add Ant-Man, which I think he's going to be there, and you add Shuri, I think this lineup rocks.
yeah,
I think
it's
this
a
is
really
such a
good lineup.
baller lineup.
I'm noticing that Strange is not included in this lineup, though.
Which would make me wonder
Doctor
if
Strange
that's
3.
right. I'm wondering if something happens in Doctor Strange 3 that prevents him from being here.
But then you throw in Wong still to be like, well, there's still an element there.
Yeah.
Like maybe Sam goes to find Strange in the movie or something. It's like he's
also-
off world or whatever.
Also, nothing about nothing to suggest America Chavez either.
I think they're still holding those characters for like the younger Avengers team, whatever that ends up being.
yeah,
They're going to be the old Avengers soon, though. Like,
yeah. I just feel like it's like you're just holding on to them so long, and I mean, yeah, like externally, we know that there are characters that can form that
Right.
team, but apart from like one mention in what was it, the Marvels, apart from one mention, we've had nothing to suggest that that's coming.
Yeah, but I think we can assume that if they decide to use those characters, it's going to be after Battle World. It's going to be after Secret Wars.
Because they
Yeah.
did have-
Because they could just erase them. Technically, they could just make it so they never existed, which would suck. But they could
erase them or like retcon some of them.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming if they wanted to use somebody like Elijah Bradley becomes Patriot, he technically appeared in Falcon and the Winter Soldier already, but they could introduce a retconned version of him for a Young Avengers thing if they wanted to do that, to have like
Crazy idea, right?
tie back to Captain America.
Crazy idea. One of the announcements is going to be a Young Avengers movie that sets up Secret Wars.
I mean, if they did that, I would freak out. I would really
That'd be
crazy.
hype.
So there's also a little spoiler here is Thor is also a big part of Battle World, but it's not the way you think it is. Thor is literally the military for Doom on Battle World. So all the Thors, all of them work for Doom. And that's like, no one wants to fight the Thors because we're not talking about one, we're talking like thousands of them. Nobody wants to fight them.
Especially if you incorporate Thor the way he's been in the comics recently, where he's like at the level of the All-Father. Yeah, you don't want to mess with Thor.
That's a really good point, though, Eric. Like, there's a possibility some of these characters are in the movie, but they're not our versions of those characters.
Right.
Like, Chris Hemsworth is in the movie. He's not our Thor.
Yeah.
And Captain America could be another variant. Like Chris Evans could be a Captain America that works for Doom.
Right.
All we've gotten is the casting announcements. I mean, we can assume people that they're playing, but we don't 100% know.
Yeah.
Right.
But I like this lineup. But you're right, Darren. You drop in Shuri, you drop in Ant-Man, and we're talking about a really solid Avengers team. So
how many? Just out of curiosity, how many new Avengers are there right now? Is it 5?
The new Avengers?
Yes.
From the end of
you want Thunderbolts?
Yeah. Sorry.
So let's count them off. We got Yelena, Red Guardian, Bucky, John, Bob, and Ghost.
That's 6?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, I can just imagine they're probably going to want to do, like, match it. Be like, this team has 6, this team has 6 kind of thing. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
But, I mean, like, if looking at this lineup, I think... So, what's really interesting to me is Wong was a supporting character.
Yeah.
And has become one of the most recognizable characters in the MCU. And...
Pinnacle of the MCU.
I mean, he's arguably one of the best magic users in all of the MCU.
And he is the Sorcerer Supreme now.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
I should also say, I think, in terms of She-Hulk, I think if she doesn't come back in Avengers, we're never seeing her again. Because I think this is the only opportunity that she can fit in.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is also this would give them an opportunity to say goodbye to the character because if they do get rid of her, they will have an opportunity for people to see her and for her to do something heroic before she disappears forever. You know what I mean?
This could also be their opportunity to change the narrative around her as well. Right. A lot of people weren't that big on Doctor Strange until Infinity War. Same with Endgame with the Captain Marvel, right? And now they're characters that people seemingly really enjoy. So this could be like, you don't like her now, but watch her with, Captain Marvel and, Bruce and Wong and stuff like that. So.
That's one thing that I noticed with like a handful of characters is that some people they like them better, and arguably some of them work better whenever they're in a team and not in their own solo outings.
Yeah. I mean, that's what the Arrowverse stuff did so well. They didn't just jump into all these new shows. It's like, okay, have them team up with this character first, and then they get their own project. People are like, oh, I know them from here, and
And then when you get some of them, maybe this is a hot take, but some of them Supergirl, for example, I think benefited more whenever she was in groups of those
crossovers. Yeah.
I was even talking to Darren about this too, just because the picture in front of me, I was not a fan of this Captain America costume originally. I just thought it was a big downgrade from the one at the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but it has grown on me a little bit more over time. I am starting to like it a lot.
Let's see.
I think, Darren, you even have the Funko of that one from the show, right?
I do. It's my favorite. I don't think I have them up right now, but yeah.
I ordered a statue of the one from the show that's got like the Falcon wings spread
I
out.
love that suit so
That-
much.
coming soon. I was glad we saw it at the beginning of Brave New World for a little bit at least, and you know, I was hoping that even if they didn't want to keep the headpiece, you know, which is fine, you still had the one that had all the white at the beginning of Brave New World without the headpiece. So I was like, okay, just keep it like that. That's fine. I can deal. But no,
Someone sent me this. Before we continue, anybody in the chat, and I want to ask this question because I mentioned it in our group chat or whatever. Is anybody in our chat close with or knows Defunct personally? Like not in the stream with us, but in the chat. Like Defunct. Everybody knows this person. She's a mod. Would come in my streams. DFUNKT. Defunct. She recently was very open about going in and having like surgery, and I believe it was like brain surgery. And she came back and was like, I'm healing, I'm at home, I'm resting. The last stream that she was in, she was like, I get to chill with you guys while I'm recovering. And then she disappeared. And I don't know her well enough to find out if something happened, but I'm very concerned because I messaged her on Twitter, didn't get anything back. I looked for her on Instagram. She made her Instagram private. I don't know when that happened. And I don't know her name on like her government name. So I can't find her on anything else. But she was a very like big participant in the streams, and she just disappeared after having major surgery. So I'm a little bit concerned. Now it could be overblown. Like she might actually be fine, and we might see her again. But it's always concerning when somebody that I know is a regular person that comes into the show just kind of disappears out of nowhere. So if anybody knows her on social media or anything like that, like let her know that we were asking about her. All right. Before we get into the battle, we did have another super chat here, I think. Let me see.
brain surgery's no joke. I've been there, done that. It's no fun.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. Had 2 of them back in 2022.
Oh, wow.
Actually, no, I take that back. I had 2 within 2 days, and then I had 1 a few months prior.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah.
How long was your recovery?
So for the first one, it was like a 2-month one because they went in there and made modifications to a machine that I had. And, you know, I'd say 2 months before I was able to, like get back up and start, doing things like my normal job again. When I had the 2 back to back, the machine was just being flat out removed because I didn't need it anymore. And, the second one, I'll keep this contained. The second one wasn't even really supposed to happen, but they said, hey, we were doing research. Turns out you don't really need this thing anymore. Do you just want us to go ahead and take it out? I was like, well, fuck it. You guys already have me here admitted. Let's just go ahead and do it. And after that second one, it was like 2 days before New Year's when they did the removal. And then I think like January 11th was when I was back on my feet. So it can vary based on what
I guess it depends on what you're having done, I suppose. Michael says, I had a tumor taken from just above the brain. It was a tough recovery. Well, I'm glad you're okay. Glad they were able to do that for you. All right, so moving on here. Cam with a $2 super chat. Do you think Secret Wars will be in 2 parts? No. I think these are the 2 movies that it's just going to be Doomsday and Secret Wars. I think they can do everything they need to do. Like, I think Doomsday will contain elements from the Secret Wars storyline, like with all the incursion stuff. And then Secret Wars will be the meat and potatoes of that story. Because if you go back, this is the crazy thing. If you go back to read Secret Wars from 2015, the actual story, I believe, is only like 5 or 6 issues.
Yeah. And then like the one from the 80s was only like 12.
Right. But there's like hundreds of tie-in comic books that you can read.
Yeah.
And so I went back and I've been reading all of them. Every single one. Some of them are completely useless. We're not going to see them in the MCU. But some of them, they may actually make a part of the storyline. So I'm curious to see what they're going to keep and what they're going to take away at the end of the day. But I do believe it's just going to be Doomsday and then Secret Wars. But thank you for the super chat. We're 3 out of 5, you guys. That's awesome. We still have a little over an hour to go. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about is a...
Goal.
What was that?
Is 5 your goal for the night?
Yeah, it's just 5 tonight. Nothing too heavy. All right, so someone sent this to me, and I want to say this could totally be bullshit. Okay, this could totally be bullshit. But this is the kind of stuff that news outlets pick up and they run with, especially like these clickbait sites without any information, because somebody will go, oh, well, this is the story or whatever. So I want to read this to you, but I want to tell you why I think it's probably not true, but we'll see. Marvel and Disney are reportedly having a conflict on the new X-Men movie releasing after Avengers Secret Wars. Minor spoilers, so read at your own discretion. Right. Spoilers for a fanfic. Got it. Kevin Feige wanted a more grounded X-Men story. I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that. They've already established that those did not work. They tried them. They didn't work.
Can people stop abusing that term, please?
Well, they use it because they want to trigger people. They want people to get mad about it. That's why. Because
They don't even know what it means half the time.
True. Because when even 3Dub was like here one day saying, "What do you mean by
I
grounded?"
did that
It's like,
as a joke.
Yeah.
Basically, I was like, they stay on the ground all the time. What do you mean?
It says a plot that really focused on social issues and disagreements, which, by the way, X-Men 97 did that, and it wasn't grounded. You don't have to ground the X-Men to cover social issues and disagreements.
No.
They do it all the time. They've done it for decades.
Yeah, a powerful and dramatic movie that showed what the X-Men were all... This sounds like it was made in ChatGPT. A powerful and dramatic movie that showed what the X-Men were all about, with the Brotherhood of the Mutants as the villains. But that's not what Bob Iger and Disney wanted. Aware of the poor performance of the more restrained movies, especially the disappointing box office like Captain America, Brave New World, and Thunderbolts, which, by the way, Thunderbolts is not disappointing. It's already broke even. It's above the break-even point. Yeah. The X-Men script has been requested to focus on a great event movie to get a wider... So, a great event movie, but also grounded. This is conflicting.
I think what they mean is smaller, right? Like,
Yeah.
you can have a small-scale story and not be grounded. Like, you
Right.
can have... All right.
I mean, honestly, when you look at it, X-Men 1, the movie, it was small scale relatively, but it was grounded too at the same time.
Because I would agree, I also want a smaller scale X-Men movie to start out. I want to start on the ground and move our way up.
Yeah.
But I don't even know what grounded would mean in terms of X-Men.
Especially when we're talking about mutants. Some of the most crazy, powerful beings in the entire Marvel universe.
I feel like the smallest scale you can go.
Here's Storm, but she's grounded. Okay, cool. Like,
I mean, X-Men 97 did ground her for a few episodes.
Yes, that's true. Here's Medusa, but she's grounded. Cut her hair.
Oh God. Why do we got to reference that show?
Yeah. We have a super chat here from Screwface Capote, $5 super chat. I forget when Spider-Verse 3 comes out, but wouldn't it be... it got pushed back. I can't remember what the new date was. Wouldn't it be something if Sony tried to sneak it in at some point to try and capitalize on MCU fans?
Was it June of 27 when it got pushed?
It's June of 27. This is something I had looked it up when he made this comment, because it is a very interesting thing to talk about. Because when that new date had come up, I said, oh, this is a month after Secret Wars. That's interesting. Yeah. Because we had talked about just the potential that maybe they could connect in some ways. Yeah. Now Secret Wars will come... Sorry, this will come out before Secret Wars now. Right. So you could end it in a way, and maybe you could sneak them in for a cameo in that movie.
I'm seeing so many people get mad about this, which doesn't make any sense. They go, "Man, why are they doing it till why are they pushing it that long to 27? That feels like a long wait." It's like you're gonna be waiting a year less than you were between the first two Spider-Verse movies, so it's not that bad.
I just got a crazy idea. What if at the end of Secret Wars we see like Miles Morales in the MCU?
I mean, look, if Sony wants to let go of that character, that's when it's going to happen, because that's when it happens in the comics. Miles Morales comes into the main universe after Secret Wars, so that would be an opportunity for them to do that.
Because Tom Holland's in the MCU, so for him to train a Miles Morales, we would need like Secret Wars.
I mean, well, we've got two things that could possibly happen there. By the way, thank you for the super chat, Screwface.
You wouldn't need to, because Miles Morales came onto the scene as Spider-Man during Ultimate when Peter Parker died. It wasn't like there was a mentee the whole time.
I was going to say, though, there's a couple things that they could do with Spider-Man. I don't think they're going to do all of them. So I think we're going to get like one of these things. So the first one is a symbiote saga beginning. We could get that in Secret Wars if they wanted to do it
that way. Yeah.
But But I don't think they would do that and introduce Miles Morales into the MCU. I think it's going to be one or the other. I don't think we're going to get both of them.
Not at the same time.
Right. And I think Marvel, if they were going to negotiate with Sony, if you were asking me what they would want, because the Into the Spider-Verse universe with Miles is extremely successful. But Marvel knows that they have time to wait on that character. They don't need that character right now. They have Peter Parker. So if I were Marvel and I were going to the table to like get something from them, I would want the symbiote stuff.
I mean,
that's what I would want.
Sony clearly wants to push, Venom into every little thing that they can. So, I mean, and honestly, and what you could do, I'm surprised that they didn't do this, like back when they were doing, the Raimi films, even though I defend that third movie. I'm surprised they didn't just kind of do what the original Ultimate Comics did with Venom, where it was something that was made in a lab, something that connected both Richard Parker and Eddie Brock Sr. So you had a lot more of a personal tie there for Peter and Eddie instead of just having to kind of make one up out of thin air.
Right.
It's really not a bad idea though. Like, I know everyone smiles that wants him in the MCU and wants him in Tom, but from a money standpoint, it's not a bad idea to lock Tom down for another 3 movies, after these next couple, or at least 2 movies, and then Sony still needs their live action Spider-Man to keep those rights. Do Miles Morales movies in live action in their own little pocket universe,
and then bring him in the next incursion event.
Right.
Because they could technically, I mean, the thing is, Sony could have their own Peter in that movie that dies, and then Miles takes over. Because you don't know him that long in the Ultimate Universe before he dies. You get flashbacks of him, but...
Well, I mean, whenever they first did the takeover, Peter had, 160 issues where he was Spider-Man before Miles came onto the scene. So, they could tell, I mean, a condensed story of him as Spider-Man if they want to. I mean, they could... they could have that be its own movie or have that be flashbacks of another movie.
So with this, we've hit the goal for the night. So thank you guys so much. $4.99 super chat from Staggervore. So we will be putting the poll up in a bit, but we're going to be using the poll for something else here in a second. So get ready for that. The poll. Anyway, I heard that Marvel is reportedly negotiating with Tom Holland to sign him on for Avengers Doomsday. Have you heard anything else on the matter? We haven't heard anything, Staggervore, but at the very beginning of the stream when we first talked about this, I did say that I suspect that with this moving of Doomsday, that it sort of tells me that they might have actually reached some sort of negotiation with Sony. Yeah. And they did it a while ago. It wasn't something that just happened. They just announced it now because the pen to paper came down and it's been 100% locked in.
It's probably why he didn't have a chair during the announcement, because at that point it wasn't 100% pinned down.
Right.
And also, I think they only announced people that we're filming right now, right? I think we're filming in bunches, and we will continue to film in bunches for probably the remainder of this year.
Yeah.
So I think what the current rumor is that we're going to get maybe new announcements at San Diego Comic-Con. So
See, I hope they've got their production schedule locked down tight and figured out if that's the case. Because I don't want to run into, something that, I'm not saying this is the case because there were different situations, but I don't want it to feel like a Brave New World situation where you can tell the plot is taped together.
Right.
Yeah. Brave New World was such a mess. I really didn't want it to be, but it just was not done.
I'll be honest.
It had really good elements. I wanted to love that movie, and I came out liking it, but I was
not loving it.
Right. I liked it too, but I didn't love it. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I came out liking it, but I also didn't see the tape together part like you guys.
Well, it was his character in the movie. You can tell that was done through reshoots.
Not me, apparently.
So, all right, so what we're going to do now, because we are at the 1 hour mark, it's a perfect time to segue into the thing that you guys voted for, which is the DCU versus the MCU. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to pull up 5 battles on screen, and then I will open up the polls for the chat as well. You guys can also super chat during this if you would like, if you want me to read something out while we're talking about this. But everybody here is going to get to sound off on how they think this fight is going to go down and who's going to win. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So, Darren, you're muted.
Darren, you're muted.
So these are characters, not movies?
They're characters.
And,
okay.
And this is a strength battle, not a popularity battle?
It is if these two people met and they had a reason to fight, who would win?
The writer. Kidding.
That's what we are. We're the writers. So we're arguing why we think a certain character would win versus.
Okay, wait. I have to set some ground rules. Are we doing death battle, or are we doing in character who would win? Because I feel like there is a slight difference.
I would not suspect a superhero that's not known for killing to just kill someone. if that's
Okay.
what you're asking. If somebody is more prone to like to hold back, that would be detrimental to them, obviously, if they're facing off against somebody that doesn't. So that's where we're at. I thought about these battles. Some of them are fun. Hopefully it's not too triggering for everybody. And we can talk through it as we pull it up on screen. There's 5 of them in the order that I think is going to be the most interesting, okay?
And you said DCU for the people commenting?
DCU versus MCU.
Okay.
All right, here we go. First battle is Aquaman versus Thor. Now, I want to say this is the Thor that we left with. Like, all these characters are where we left them at. This is the Aquaman where we left him. So these are the characters where they are in the films at the point where we stop seeing anything from them. So
Can I go first?
yeah, go ahead.
All he has to do is shock the water. Thor wins.
If you would have asked me this pre-Love and Thunder, I would have easily said Thor.
So you don't think Thor can beat Aquaman?
I mean, I don't know. So,
give your reasons. Talk it out. Talk it out. What do you think?
The problem is, like, with each movie that Thor appears in, his like development and his power, it becomes so inconsistent from movie to movie. Like, he goes from Infinity War Endgame to being, incredibly capable in a fight, to Love and Thunder, suddenly not knowing what to do, losing all sense of battle prowess.
Well, like I said, the last time we saw him is where he would be in this battle. So it would be the Thor that we know at the end of Love and Thunder.
I think Thor wins without even a fight. I think he
Probably,
demolishes Aquaman.
I'll probably say that too.
He would take him out of water and basically put him where no water is located and
Just
thrash
needs to
him.
smash his face in. Just one throw and he's done. I don't know, man.
So
He killed Thanos with one throw.
Right.
Aquaman's done, man.
So you're thinking that Jason Momoa is done?
Seconds. I think
I
it
mean-
lasts seconds. I don't know, man.
I mean, yes, Jason Momoa killed Steppenwolf in a badass
Put him
way.
in a tin can of tuna.
That's true. I mean, to play to your thing, Jake, I'd also argue now he has something to fight for at the end of Love and Thunder. He has a daughter, and yes, he has drawings on his, his hammer now, but it's yeah, but he's not going to not go home to his daughter now. Although you could argue the other thing for Aquaman too, right? Doesn't he have a daughter now, or no, or a kid now?
As a kid.
Yes.
Okay, so I guess they both have something to fight
Yeah, they're
for.
both dads. They're both rulers of their kingdom.
They both have beards.
Iffy, because Thor kind of passed that off to Valkyrie. But yeah, I mean, that's essentially what it is. So, all right. So, chat, you got 2 minutes left to vote. Both channels have a poll up. So, you have 2 minutes left to vote. We're going to see what the chat says.
Let me get over there then.
Yeah, you better head over and vote. You better vote.
Man,
I would say for me, it really comes down to where the battle takes place.
That's fair.
yeah.
So, if they're fighting on land, I think it is a no-brainer. I think Thor would easily defeat Aquaman.
Also, does Thor have both weapons, Mjolnir and Stormbreaker?
He's got whatever he had left at the end of Love and Thunder. So,
Fair.
if Thor somehow got stuck underwater for whatever reason, I think Aquaman would beat him. And underwater, deep underwater, deep underwater.
Yeah, like Mariana's Trench.
Yeah, he could still call lightning, but he would be underwater, which means he would have to hold his breath. And I don't know if Asgardians, if God characters like that can do it. I mean, he can fly
Couldn't
around
he,
in space, so.
If he used his hammer,
Oh,
if he was
that's true.
swinging underneath water, could he
Yeah, he could.
Yeah.
You're right. You're
just
right.
Moses, just
You
part
could
the seas
also
around
call the
it?
Bifrost.
Serenity says Thor isn't that smart. I mean, fair enough.
Yeah.
Also, he could
kinda like-
call the Bifrost in the water too, and send him
Alright.
to Asgard.
So we're going to end the poll and
There's
debunks
no Asgard
first.
anymore.
The debunks
that's
chat has
precisely what I
spoken,
mean.
and over there, 100% of the people said Thor would win on the debunks chat. All right. Over here on the Reloaded channel, let's see where everybody ended up. We have 80% said Thor to win, 9% said Aquaman, and 9% said a draw. So,
They would go out for beers.
see, I think that's a possibility. They would fight,
Yeah.
and then one of them would be like,
Well,
"Hey, this is not."
they would
going
be
anywhere,"
friends,
so-
I think.
Well,
Yeah.
Thor would win the drinking contest.
Yeah.
Another.
All right, so before I put the poll up, because I want to make sure that I don't spoil anything, let's go ahead and jump to the next one. Our next battle is Wonder Woman versus Captain Marvel. All right, let me go ahead and get the poll ready. You guys talk it out while I'm doing this.
Wasn't this Wonder Woman technically like immortal?
I feel like this is tough because we haven't seen like a lot from either, right? I feel like they're both kind of like they're both very powerful characters that we haven't seen display their powers on screen too much.
Right. Damn it.
I will say this, that being a cosmic powered being definitely gives a character an edge, I think.
Yeah,
because
but also being a demigod does too.
Right, but once she's gone from Earth, it puts her at a disadvantage. Right?
Can this Wonder Woman fly? She can, right?
Yeah, she's supposed to.
Hey, what's up, Katie Did? Good to see you. Katie Did says Wonder Woman. Weed Ninja says Captain Marvel, honestly.
I thought this Wonder Woman was like close to, if not like
look,
immortal.
Jason said, look what she did at Thanos' ship. I mean, I've always equated that Captain Marvel is as close to Superman as Marvel had after Thor and before Sentry.
I'll say it's probably going to be a draw.
You think it's a draw?
Yeah.
I kind of agree, actually, yeah, because I feel like both characters can, I think, hold their own. Both are not giving up, and I feel like it's one of those situations where they just fight until they work it out, kind of thing.
Also,
she
don't forget
fought Superman and basically headbutting him too, while also Superman headbutting her, and still surviving that. So,
I mean, Captain.
don't forget to vote on the polls, by the way, you guys, if you haven't already.
Captain Marvel did the same thing against Thanos.
That's true. I feel like Wonder Woman's also slightly more willing to kill, at least in this version of the characters.
Probably. Well, I
Like,
mean, in one iteration, she was supposed to kill. Like, that was originally the plan.
Plus, the lasso is there, so that would give her a unique edge, I feel, in some way.
I feel like she's going to use it in a weapon. Like I keep coming back to the Hulk and Loki scene where he just like takes Loki by the heel and just whack him.
And I don't know if it's been confirmed or not, but Wonder Woman in the comics and in the animated stuff, that's why I'm saying I don't know if it applies here, has always been a much better just fighter than most people. Like, she's just got better fighting abilities, which is how she's able to fight Superman, is because she's a better fighter.
Yeah, not only is she like probably right under Superman in terms of strength, but she like is able, like, just purely at hand to hand, she has more technique, she has more training.
Yeah, but she wouldn't be able to. I don't think she's powerful enough to subdue Captain Marvel to submission.
So Renee makes a good point. They both kill it. In-game Captain Marvel said, let's find Thanos and kill him. I actually think Captain Marvel would, under the right circumstances, be willing to kill a character.
Yeah.
Granted, you did see Wonder Woman die in the alternate future, but it was never shown.
True.
It was never shown what killed her.
Jonathan's right, though. Like, if you're talking about power, she has more, like, energy blasts and stuff like that. But I think Wonder Woman... Look, this might be a hot take, but I think Wonder Woman could probably take a lot of those energy blasts. I don't think they would just, like, kill her outright.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No.
I'm just gonna go Wonder Woman, but like this is tough.
Okay,
But
so
you know what?
yeah.
Actually, I'm going with draw. But if I had to choose one, I think it's gonna be Wonder Woman for me.
Okay. Jake?
I'll say that same thing.
So you think Wonder Woman as well?
I'll stay on the fence this one, but if I were to lean to one side, it would probably be Wonder Woman.
Okay, and 3Dub, what is your choice?
Same thing, draw, or if I had to pick one, Wonder Woman.
I now really want to see this fight. This sounds like
Can a fan film person get on this right away? Like right
away.
Like
Spider-Verse style, just brawl between the two of them.
Now there are two Captain Marvels that I want to see Wonder Woman fight.
All right, so here we go. We're going to close out the poll on Reloaded first this time. And the poll says that 51% thinks Captain Marvel would win. Okay. 35% says Wonder Woman, and 12% says draw.
There's a lot more split.
On the Debunk channel, we have 62%. I think it was 62%. Hold on. Where's it at?
Someone said we all win if we get to watch them fight.
62% on the Debunks channel said that Wonder Woman would win. 37% said Captain Marvel, and draw 0% over there. So that's interesting.
And somebody did bring up a point. We did see Wonder Woman hold her own against Doomsday.
Yeah.
And also Ares, who is a god of war.
Serenity brought up a good point in saying we've never seen this version of her like in space. So if
True.
Captain Marvel brought her up, could she still hold her own?
Probably not. That's why I was saying that she's a cosmic character, and I wasn't sure like how that would play out.
Well, if this one is, I don't know, I'm getting too far into this, but if this one is made of clay in this continuity, would that affect her?
I don't know, maybe.
Could you harden the clay?
Yeah. All right, here we go. Ready? Next battle coming up. This is a good one. Shazam versus Deadpool.
Oh my god.
I'm going to say Deadpool because I really like Deadpool.
Okay, hold on. Let me get the poll started.
Rotten Tomatoes was the winner here.
Oh God. See, I don't want to vote for that numbskull. Even if it is the right answer, I don't know.
I mean,
The poll is going up on both channels. Talk it out, you guys. What's happening?
I mean, Deadpool has killed the entire MCU before, so that includes very strong characters. So I would say that he would mess him up. He would basically, if he was like not had new humanity in him, he would literally kill the kid.
You're absolutely right though. He would 100%. Like if Shazam's powers went away, he would probably not think twice. Like going, I'm just gonna He
tried to do that with his Deadpool too. Like he tried to do that too.
I'm thinking because like Shazam should, right? Like I think he has everything in his capabilities to beat Deadpool ultimately. Mm-hmm. I don't think he would, though.
We're also saying beat. We're not saying kill.
That is true. Like, he can, like... I think Shazam wins the battle but loses the war, if that makes sense, right? Like, I think he keeps killing them. He keeps throwing his stuff back. He keeps going on until eventually Deadpool ultimately kills him.
Well, Jason says Deadpool wouldn't be able to do anything to Shazam, and Shazam couldn't kill Deadpool.
That's true. I think Deadpool would find a way, though. Right, like I think if this went on long enough, he'd finally be. I mean,
Shazam has the ultimate weakness: is when he's not Shazam, he's literally vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like
and like if Deadpool tricks him into saying his name, then he's fucked.
Right.
I guarantee you, he will trick him into saying his name.
Especially if we're doing like wall breaking stuff, you could just be like, say your name or something. I don't know. I think there's something there.
Deadpool would use his fourth wall break to write a script saying, Shazam says Shazam.
Oh my god.
Is that fair though?
All right. So we're coming up to the clutch here. Where are we standing? You got to pick a name. So vote on the poll, everybody. We're going to wrap the polls up on this one. Who are we saying takes this one? We got 2 more to go.
I'm going Deadpool. I think he finds a way.
All right. Jake?
I'm going to say that in terms of like just beating them, not ending them, I'll say Shazam wins a one-on-one fight.
Okay. So we have Deadpool from Darren, Shazam for Jake. 3Dub, who do you think wins?
Deadpool.
Wow. So 2 for Deadpool. I'm going to say this one's probably the toughest one for me because it really comes down to how ruthless Deadpool is willing to be, honestly. Mm-hmm. So that's my personal opinion. But let's see what the chat said. We're going to do the Debunks channel first here. Let's see what you guys voted on here. In the poll, we have 55% says Shazam, 33% says Deadpool, and 11% says Draw on there over on that channel. Let's see what the Reloaded folks said. How did you guys go on this one? In poll, over here it says 72% voted for Deadpool.
Wow.
20% voted for Shazam, and 7% gave a draw. So, however, while we have this up, we did get a super chat from Cameron that is literally on topic.
$5 super chat. Speaking of Shazam, I did see this. Did you see that Zachary Levi wanted to come back as Shazam in the DCU? Of course he does, but he will never be invited back into the DCU with James Gunn in charge. It's just never going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Didn't the second movie make a lot of money? Wait, never mind.
No. I just think that his Zachary Levi's entire worldview is so in opposition to James Gunn's worldview. I just don't see him ever considering Zachary Levi. And the only way that would ever happen is if David Zaslav said you have to hire him. And based on his track record with films, he can't afford to do it. Because even if he likes Zachary Levi's put out a bunch of duds.
Yeah. And like because of that, because of what it's kind of done to, the Shazam brand name, I wouldn't be surprised if he's completely absent from the first chapter. Like,
yeah.
I'd say that's like almost.
So, is it does people having an opinion or worldview like diminish what they can do as an actor?
Well,
like
it wouldn't. Well, that's why I said it doesn't matter because
like
all of his movies have been bad. Like they've all underperformed.
Well, true, but I feel like that's part of like discrimination law.
Well, not if you're the person. Not if you're the person at the top looking for people that fit within your like universe or whatever.
If the
like he's not gonna hire him back as Shazam anyway, so that doesn't even matter. So
a director has full. Sorry, go ahead, Jake.
Sorry, I'm just gonna say if the person has controversy, but they were still at the very least a financial asset, there would maybe be a conversation there. But if you're controversial and proven to not be a financial asset, then you're kind of screwed.
You become unhireable, basically.
Yeah.
True. Okay.
And like a director has full autonomy who he wants in his space and who he seems fitting for his cast of characters.
And he would never come back as Shazam. Like I want to reiterate that this is he ruined this character in the second movie. He will never come back as this character.
And he literally stands for everything that Shazam isn't. Like it's so strange for me to someone who says that they love this character and then go online and say the exact opposite things that character would say. It's like
I feel like it's kind of just like a Dwayne Johnson situation, like I've said before. It's like they find a character that kind of resembles them in appearance and mannerism to an extent, but like they don't really have anything beyond a certain level of knowledge of how.
I mean, who wouldn't hire the star of the hit movie Harold and the Purple Crayon? I mean, yeah, exactly. All right, so the last two are going to be tough. Okay, you thought these were tough.
I already feel like I know what one of them is.
Are going to be tough.
I already feel like I know what one of them is.
So, well, one of them is a curveball, which is the last one, because I don't think anybody's expecting what the last one's going to be. But the next one is going to be quite possibly the hardest one yet.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
I knew it.
Superman versus the Sentry.
I knew it.
All right, guys, time to fight. Get in the comments and fight about this.
And this is just their universe counterparts, right? This isn't in the comics or anything?
Nope, it's just the DCU MCU.
Okay. Because I don't know about Sentry in the comics or whatever, so I can't.
This is easy for me. And I'm a Superman fan, so yeah.
You know what? I'm going Superman. I think Superman wins on my bias alone because, like, I just like knowing that Superman always finds a way, right? Like, I feel like in this situation, Superman's almost the, like, good guy, Sentry's, like, the bad guy, right? Not to, like, very simplify it, right? But, like, his whole thing is hope. His whole thing is inspiring. And I think he could find a way out.
This version of Superman?
I think deep down, deep down, he is about hope, and I think ultimately we were going to get there with that version of the character.
So I agree to some. I agree with you somewhat there because it is Superman, and you want Superman to win because he is like this pinnacle of like heroism. But the difference for me here is that Sentry in his void form doesn't care about life.
Yeah.
So he's going to go as far as he has to go to stop Superman. So I think villains. I know heroes win in comics because we want the good guys to win, but I think villains arguably always have an advantage because they are not going to hold back at any point. So Sentry may have trouble with Superman, but I think Sentry as the Void would mop the floor with Superman. Personally.
like,
But we've seen like where we're at. It's very unpredictable, right? Like it's not impossible to get him out of that like void
right.
mentality. And I think someone
And,
But Superman is notoriously weak when it comes to things like telepathy and reality warping
Sure.
and
Where
stuff
we
like
Sure,
that.
but
Where we left the Sentry was basically Bob sitting on the couch reading a book.
Well, no, where we left Sentry was the Void because Bob was just didn't remember anything that happened. So this is Sentry in the Void where we left Sentry in the Void.
So it's just
Because they're like two different people. You have to remember there's like a
well, three
multiple
different-
personality situation there. So of course Superman will beat Bob because Bob's not
I mean, like
Sentry,
Bob
but
is where we left him technically.
that's where we left Bob. It's not where we left Sentry.
I just think I think if Yelena can get through to him, I think Clark could also. And I think
This
Clark
version
has
of
that-
Clark?
I think so. I mean, look
I think
where,
this version of Superman is very surface level.
I mean,
don't
but
think
like
there's a
look
lot
where we
there.
left
Man,
him
this version
with
of
Black
Superman,
Adam.
he did manage to, like, in one of his first outings, he did manage to momentarily make a madman crazy Batman pause in his tracks. He was able to do that, and also with his...
When he said Martha?
Yeah. You know, like,
I don't,
with
but
the-
that wasn't strategic. That was just by chance.
rolled
Yeah,
right.
right.
But also with his speed that he has, theoretically he would be able to prevent Sentry, you know, like from going into that void form before he is able to like mentally, you know, go
But
there.
we also have to remember that unlike Superman, Sentry is immortal.
Right.
He also was able to subdue a same power level and also kill him.
Try Zod.
Yeah,
I
That
don't
is
think
also-
I don't think Zod is the same power level as Superman and Sentry.
No.
though.
like
No.
he had the Kryptonian powers.
Yeah, but Zod was brand new to those powers. He wasn't operating at full power when he faced
I
off
know,
against
but I'm saying like
Superman's.
concept wise, he had the same power. Like basically, they had the same powers.
Yeah, but Superman at that point had been using his powers longer than Zod.
Yeah, that's the experience. But I'm
Right.
talking about like power level. Like they were basically let's say like Batman couldn't defeat Zod.
I'm gonna go with Sentry here because I think Sentry has no moral compass when he's in the Void form, and I don't see how this version of Superman, like if we're talking about Tyler Hoechlin's Superman or Brandon Routh, maybe, but Henry Cavill's Superman, to me, his moments of humanity were not good enough for me to think that he could talk his way out of this with Sentry. I just don't believe that.
And
That's
it's
just me,
also
though.
It's also been shown that, I mean, granted not fully shown, but he was able to be manipulated and taken over by Darkseid in that nightmare. So it's clear as day that he is susceptible to a form of mind control or mental influence.
That's true.
Zod had combat experience without powers, which does help if he understands all of his powers. But he was, look, I think Zod with Superman's powers on Earth in that moment, had he had the powers longer or at the same time, he could easily beat Clark Kent or Kal-El because he knows how to fight. That's exactly why Wonder Woman has the edge on Superman sometimes, because she knows how to fight better than Superman does. But Zod in that moment had just got his powers.
Right.
So even with combat experience, that can only take you so far.
It brings the question like, why was the female so much powerful in combat than Superman? Like, if Superman's supposed to be stronger with his powers, he should have like overcome her.
Overcome who?
Overcome the female that was beating him left and right. In the Smallville scene where he basically hits the bank, basically gets pushed back, and then both the big muscle guy and her started pounding him to the ground.
Oh, you're talking about the other Kryptonians that were fighting him.
Yeah, they were like lesser.
I think her name is Feora, right?
Yeah, Fiora. Yeah,
I think, is it Feora? I don't remember how to pronounce it, but I think that's who it is.
but she was less stronger than Zod, and she just got her powers too.
Well, because so I think what we have to understand is there is a physicality that comes into play a little bit in the situation, because of the fact that in that universe they made it seem like she was weaker but faster. So I think her size made her faster when she's using super speed, but her strength, she wasn't quite as strong as Superman because of the situation they were in. Because you have to remember, he's also been on Earth absorbing solar energy for a really long time.
That's part of the reason why like those Kryptonians were able to take down somebody like Kara the way they were, because she had been like drained by Red Sun for so long.
But I also want to point out that Sentry, that what we saw of him, he could literally just blip Superman away.
Yeah. And like that Superman, could very well be somebody that is kind of just stays consumed in his own darkness.
Like absolute props to Superman. Maybe physically, if they were just fighting blow for blow, he could maybe beat Sentry. I would agree with that. But once Sentry has blipped him away, that's it. Game over. Like it's the only person in the entire group that even came up with that to figure out how to do that was Yelena. Like no one else thought of that. So it's not like something that everybody would just assume.
No.
If you don't know anything about the Void and he blips you away, how do you know how to handle that? You don't. You wouldn't know.
Right.
So I'm going to put my money on Sentry. And everybody vote in the chat now because we're going to wrap it up after this. Darren, you're going with Superman?
I am.
Okay. Jake?
I want to say Superman because I do love the character so much, but because of what we have seen in both of these versions, I would probably say Sentry.
Okay. 3-Dub?
I'm going to say this one's a tough one. What the heck? Sentry.
Wow. You went with Sentry over Superman?
Yeah, it's not Tom Holland. Tom
Welling.
Traitor.
All right.
Traitor.
So let's see what the chat says over here. I'm curious. All right. In the Reloaded channel, we're going to start with you guys first. We have 56% siding with Darren with Superman. 30% are saying Sentry, and we have a 13% draw. I think that's the highest draw that we've seen so far.
Yeah.
13%. All right. On the Debunks channel, let's see where we go with this. We have 42% Sentry. Yes, y'all locked in. 42% Sentry, 35% Superman, and a 21% draw.
That's
Whoa.
the highest draw. Okay, never mind.
That's a high draw amount.
So I just want to ask this. Your last one that you said is kind of a curveball. Does it involve Batman or Flash?
Maybe.
Okay.
Oh no.
All right, here we
Both. It's Batman and Flash.
We got some super chats before we move
Red
on.
Death. I'm
Let's
kidding.
see here. All right, so Stagger Vorth of 49 super chat says, this may be an unlikely choice, but what would you think if Josh Peck was cast as the DCU Shazam?
Wait. Oh, Shazam.
Oh God.
Thoughts?
Oh my gosh.
I know Jake laughed, so clearly you're not a fan of that.
Brother!
I mean, we already had Drake Bell as Spider-Man, so why not?
Okay. So my hot take on this is I don't think we get a Shazam for a while. Just like I don't think we get
That's
a
what I
Flash for a
said. Like,
while.
I don't think he'll appear at all in the first chapter.
I think we'll actually get a Flash before we get a Shazam.
Yeah, we've already seen like hints and teases to that in Creature Commandos already. So
Yeah. So I don't
plus
know.
Gunn has been a little more vocal about that.
True. That is true. I don't have a problem with this, but it's hard for me to even conceptualize what that would look like. I guess I would need like some fan art or something.
I prefer him as like a Flash over like.
Oh,
Shazam.
true.
Josh Peck
Well,
as Shazam and Drake Bell as Black Adam.
No.
Wally, where's the door hole?
$2 super chat from Jason and a channel member. Thank you so much. Lobo shows up and takes them both.
I mean,
Jason Momoa rolls up, cigar in his mouth, takes them both.
yeah.
What do you just theoretically? Who you got in that battle? If Lobo shows up, is he taking them both, or
He's
what?
losing to both.
Oh
He's
wow!
losing to both. They will
He's
both
out.
like team up and
I
pound
mean,
it.
he's beat Superman before, so
Lobo's definitely not getting out of the villain temple. He's stuck there forever.
Okay, thank you for the super chat, Jason. All right, here we go. This is the final one, and then we have one more topic before we wrap up. So, Darren, you might actually make it through the whole stream if that works out. So, all right, final one. This is the curveball, and I want everybody to think long and hard about this because this is a 2v2. So we have 2 DCU characters versus 2 MCU characters.
Oh God.
I got them both, didn't I?
So here we go. Get ready. Here we go, everyone. Cyborg and Batman versus Spider-Man and Iron Man.
That one's the easy one for me. Spider-Man, Iron Man.
Do you want to say why? Why do you think they could win?
Because Iron Man is literally a genius, and even though that Cyborg is limited to the internet, like Ultron, Iron Man's still able to think past that. So, and also you have Batman versus if they're doing like robot, man versus man. Batman's weaker than Spider-Man. So, in that strength,
but he's got prep time. He's got prep time.
I mean, Arrow had prep time and still lost to Flash 3 times. The only time he didn't, Arrow 1 was in training when Flash wasn't expecting it, but now he does.
Here's what I'll say, and maybe this is a bad statement. I don't know. People can correct me. Iron Man has a weapon. Cyborg is a weapon.
Yeah.
I think Cyborg could hack the suits.
Plus, I mean, like, there have been, like, Batman could just as easily, like, so, yeah, like Jared said, like, that armor could be reverse engineered because Cyborg's got, like, a multitude of technological advancements at his disposal. And while Spider-Man is stronger than Batman, Batman has tactical prowess. He has strategy. Spider-Man very much does not. He swings into a lot of things blind. And while yes, he has heightened senses, it's very much something that, especially a Batman with that level of experience, as we saw, if he can prep for things like Superman, I imagine he can prep for something like Spider-Man.
And we did see like Spider-Man, like what his true power is by his fight with his Green Goblin, where he basically showed his like let loose strength.
Well, that's not also the same thing. Green Goblin let him do that.
No, not necessarily.
He wanted to ruin him. He wanted him to try and kill him.
Yeah, but that wasn't like a smart move for him because like Spider-Man was like his strength. Like it took Tobey Maguire to jump in as a guy that's been Spider-Man for a long time and still struggling to keep Tom Holland's Spider-Man from like knifing him. It took a lot.
Yeah, but I'd argue Batman's stronger than Green Goblin.
I mean that. So, I mean that's not really the question, but like you never saw like what that serum could do.
That's true.
And like if this Spider-Man's development is any indication, he can be a few installments in and still not always make the best decisions, as we've seen, and that's easily something that someone with an intellect like Batman's could take advantage of.
That's true, and also like this is arguably one of the stronger Batmans we've seen on screen. This is one of the most experienced ones we've seen on screen. Like if we're talking about Batterson or any the like Nolan one, I could be like, okay, maybe he comes in with Spider-Man. This one, he's been Batman for what, 10, 15, 20 years? Yeah. He's full in. He doesn't hold back. He is willing to kill if that's what it takes, right? So he's not necessarily going to hold back, right?
Are we going with Batman v Superman or where we left them off as a
where we left off? Where we left off with him.
So the scrawny Bruce Wayne.
No, as Batman. You keep talking about those secret identities. I said as those characters.
No, I meant like he was literally like lost a lot of weight for the his last appearance. Like he was like thin.
Did he?
Yeah, he was in the Flash movie.
Yeah, but I mean he was still the same
buff,
Batman that has been Batman for like
20
years or something.
His suit was like huge on him compared to his actual body size.
I don't think that. Okay, so looking at these four, I don't think Batman's body size is going to make much of a difference in this. I think it's going to come down to tech and techniques, like things that he can do.
I don't think Batman fights Spider-Man or Iron Man physically and wins in any capacity. Spider-Man, low key, is one of the stronger like street level characters. Like,
Yes.
he's very strong.
But he also, like I said, as we've seen with his development, he could be multiple installments in and still not make the best decision. Somebody like Batman would be able to easily take advantage of something like that.
Yeah.
I honestly
Plus, where we
feel-
left Iron Man, he's dead. So
Technically.
Well,
Yeah.
Serenity, what we've seen of Spider-Man in the MCU, he's still very strong. Like,
yeah,
he's not a slouch. You know what I mean?
right. He was still able to hold a broken cruise ship together.
Oh no, he's still very strong. Like Jake, with like that logic though, you could say, well, he died with like the gauntlet. Does he get the gauntlet in this in this game? Because that's not fair.
Well, I mean, he technically didn't have the gauntlet though, because he pulled his stones out of it.
Iron
That's true.
Man.
Yeah.
But he has the stones. Like,
Yeah.
can he have those stones?
Yeah. So in this one, it's a tough one because it's a pairing, so you have to take into account everybody's contribution to the fight. I think if you're looking at this on paper, yes, Cyborg could probably hack Iron Man's suit and take over the AI, most likely, because that's one of the specialties that he does.
I'll throw this in there too quickly. This cyborg has shown to be proficient with accessing and working with the mother boxes. So that's a whole other can of worms that you would have to consider.
Serenity, you're kind of right about that, though. If you're talking about the AI thing, I think there is an argument to be made that maybe he doesn't know how to fight an AI that Tony Stark has, but again, this is all hypothetical.
I also think like Tony Stark would know about how hacking works and prevent it because it already happened to him twice, and he probably got fed up with it. So when Ultron like hacked his system and all that, and basically he thought like he was like, how do I prevent hackers? Okay, this is how. Okay, and then he like overcomes the challenge. So I think he would have a non-hacking suit.
Even with a non-hacking suit, he's still got beat.
So we're going to go down the line now and see what everybody thinks. So Darren, which team are you picking? Batborg or Iron Spidey? Which team are you picking?
You're muted,
You're
Darren.
muted.
Oh, you're muted.
I'm going Batborg, but it could go any way. It
Okay.
could go. It's really anyone's game.
All right. Jake, are you picking one? Or are you doing a draw? Where are you going with this?
So, Spider-Man is my favorite superhero, but I am, in this instance, I'm going Batborg as well.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Alright.
going Iron Spidey. Sticking with what I love.
Okay. So I would say in this instance, I think Spider-Man could probably hold his own against Batman and Cyborg anyway, to be honest. Especially if he wasn't using any high-tech stuff, because that would be the edge that Cyborg would have on him. But you throw Iron Man in there, and I think Tony Stark, especially with his skill, could probably... I mean, Tony Stark fought Thanos one-on-one, and although he did get yeeted, he still fought him one-on-one, so he's not...
He threw a moon on him too.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with Iron Spidey here. I think that's the one I'm going to go with. But let's see what the chat says. Let's see what the chat has given us here. We're going to start out with the Debunks chat. And the Debunks chat has voted and said 60% is Batborg and 40% is Iron Spidey with no draw whatsoever. So it's a battle to the death.
Oh, wow.
It's just they fight each other till they die. And let's see what the Reloaded channel says here. And the Reloaded channel says, come on, YouTube, hurry up anytime now. 57% Iron Spidey and 35% Batborg with a 7% draw. So it's really interesting to watch like the different, like the two different channels where everybody's voting at, because it's just really interesting to me how
They're
that
having their
works.
own civil war.
Yeah, it's really cool, actually, I think. Anyway, so that is the end of our DCEU versus MCU battle that you guys voted for. I hope you enjoyed that. We could do more like this, like the
fun.
same format with different stuff. So if you guys are interested in that in the chat, just let me know, and we will add one to tonight's poll.
I got a fun idea for one, if you're interested.
Sure. What do you think?
So you take the hand-to-hand fighters from the Arrowverse, put them against the hand-to-hand fighters of the Titans characters.
So street level characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
Or if you want to flare it up a little bit, do your hand-to-hand Arrowverse fighters versus your Netflix Defenders.
Oh, that might be interesting. So street level Arrowverse versus MCU.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe.
All
Yeah.
right, so we'll put that. All right, street level Arrow v MCU. All right, so that's one of them. Anybody else have any suggestions for the poll before I put this up tonight? There is a percentage though. That's why Serenity. I think they round down because it'll be like 75.2%, and then it'll just when I end it, it evens it out.
Yeah, it rounds down at the bottom to make up the difference.
Yeah. Anybody with any other Darren or 3Dub? No? Okay.
This is so weird not seeing my face right there. It just feels like I'm talking to a wall.
You're in the mirror dimension.
I'm in the void.
Let me join the void. I'm in the void with you.
All right, and one more option. Here we go. Oh, wait, what happened?
He vanished.
Oh.
He didn't want to be in the void with me. Oh, God.
Oh, wait, hold on. All right. So if you're watching on the Debunks channel and you would like to vote in this poll, come over to the Reloaded channel and vote. And just make your voice be heard. Here are the options. It looks like Jake has returned. I think he's back. Is it working now?
Am I there?
Yeah.
You are, but it's still. Are you still not showing up?
Yeah, no, I'm still not seeing myself. Am I showing up on stream?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah, that's fine. I can work with that.
All right. Let's see here. All right, so here are the choices for you guys. Let me go ahead and drop this down. That was a lot of fun. We can do that again one night, depending on what wins. Here are the choices tonight. Street level Arrowverse versus MCU, which is the Jake contribution. Marvel versus DC movie battle. So we'll pick two movies from Marvel and DC, and they will battle it out. We'll do like we did today. So
is that specifying to MCU and DCU? Or
no, it's going to be
Marvel versus all of
anything.
DC? Okay.
Anything. So yeah.
Okay.
Our favorite non-DC Marvel superhero film. So we have to list like 5 of our favorite superhero movies that are not from Marvel or DC.
That might actually be a really fun one.
Yeah. And the last one is 20 awful questions stream. So we'll do the 20 awful questions on stream one night. So
We'll probably come up with more than 20.
So I have plenty of them, trust me. Jonathan says, did you hear they are casting for Avatar Season 2 Netflix? What do you think of it? Hear the casting for Avatar Season 2 Netflix. I think I saw one of them. Do you know all of them? Do we have like a...
I knew about
I can pull it up.
Gosh.
There was a whole list.
Yeah.
I know about Toph.
Oh, that's old.
Yeah, I know.
This is new.
Also, there's also like random characters that were spread out in season 2.
Mm,
My cat doesn't like the new room layout. She keeps going around and doing stuff.
there was a whole. Here, I found it. I'm gonna share the image.
How long do you have the poll up for, Eric?
Till right before the end of the stream.
Is the one on the bottom the Sergeant Rock or something else? Because
What are you talking about?
the one on the bottom, the poster on the closest one to your red trash can on the bottom. So look at your red trash can on your desk,
Yeah.
and then look at the bottom right corner. The bottom, the one.
I don't know what you're asking me to do. What are you talking about?
When you were flashing your phone at the
Yeah.
poster, that one, I thought.
I don't have a Sergeant Rock poster, so that would answer
So
that
what
question.
was it?
I don't know what you're seeing.
It's the one that you shine your light on, which looks like a
There's
marine.
nothing here though. There's nothing.
The
here.
poster on the bottom corner. Look at your stream and see the bottom corner where there's a poster right there. That one. Yeah, that one.
There's no poster.
I'm looking at it right there. It's the one with the marine helmet on.
Hold
Does
on.
anybody else see what he's talking about?
I'll send a picture to you, Eric. With
Hold
my
on.
cursor
Like,
it.
look, watch. I'll blow the stream. I'll go solo. Hold on.
Oh,
It's right there. Eric. There we go. That one.
That's my toy. That's my toy of me.
Oh, I couldn't see it clearly. It looked like Sergeant Rock from here.
No, it's my character. It's my toy. So, all right.
Oh, I was viewable there for a second.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for like a split second, I saw myself when you came out of focus.
Oh. All right. So here's the casting. Let's see. Okay, so I think Dolly DeLeon is actually on a show that I'm watching right now called Nine Perfect Strangers. She looks like that. She looks like somebody on that show. Let me see if that's the same person.
So,
Because
Darren,
otherwise
did you
I don't
see the
really know
picture
her.
I showed you? Did you see the picture I showed you?
A statue?
Yeah.
Mm.
That's the one I'm trying to get my hands on.
Oh, hell yeah. That is sick.
Let's see if she's on the... Because I've only seen the first episode. Yeah, she is. It's the character on Nine Perfect Strangers. That's crazy. Okay. Daishin Lockman, is that her name? She's been on a lot of like CW.
She looks familiar. I can't.
She's from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She plays Daisy's mom.
That's right.
Agents
Yeah,
of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
yeah. In that one season, the season 3, I think.
Season 2.
Is
Yeah.
it 2? Okay.
I feel like she was on a DCCW show also.
She was in
Altered Carbon. That's
Supergirl?
the other thing I remember her from. And Dollhouse. Like, she's been in so many things.
Oh yeah,
I
she
think-
was an Altered Carbon.
I think she's in Supergirl.
Oh no, yeah, she was the World War thing episode where she played the person that was doing the Fight Club in space. She was in that episode.
Yeah, she's been in a lot of things.
She's great in Severance.
Yeah.
I
Now,
still haven't seen that.
Madison Hugh, I don't know that actor.
Is that Kelly Hughes' daughter?
Is it?
She was Veronica Sinclair, Roulette.
Now I'm looking this up just to see if they're related.
What did we think of the first season? I don't know if everybody's
I liked
given their
it.
opinions of the first season.
Eh.
It was better than the movie, and that's why I wanted.
That's not
Darren, you're
hard.
muted, by the way.
How many times is Darren going to do that?
I like parts of this first season. I think some of the additions were really, really cool. I think they expanded on some things in a nice way, but I think it fundamentally kind of misunderstands what makes an original show works, and some of it's their fault, some of it's not.
Right.
But I'm curious about season 2 because season 1 is a really tough season to adapt, in my opinion, because the whole thing is like we have to go here and here and here and here and here and here, where seasons 2 and 3 are much more isolated to their locations, right? Like they're oftentimes in one location for longer periods of time.
Mhm.
So we'll see.
Let's see here.
I'm just glad they got Aang's name right.
Oh, you mean because they didn't get it right in the movie?
Yeah, they called him Ong.
They got
It's
something
Yes,
right.
but-
They got something right in the movie.
What is the current status of the animated films?
So the animated movie, I don't know if you've seen this, but it was recently delayed by 9 months till October of 2027? 6. 26, yeah,
Yeah,
October of 26. And we know they're doing a trilogy of those like Aang movies. And then it's not a movie, but we do know that the next Avatar series will be coming to Cartoon Network here soon. What is it? Avatar and the Seven Havens, I think, is the current running title.
Wasn't there supposed to be a video game coming out this year?
I don't know this year, but they've been working on some sort of video game, some sort of project of some.
And they keep pushing it back.
All right, so the last thing we're going to talk about, let me see if I can find the topic here. This one I was kind of shocked about because I didn't even know it was happening. And if you guys want us to talk about something else, feel free to super chat. We'll talk more.
$10.
Well, that's the bonus topics.
Hey, it's like if you pay, we'll talk.
We're like monkeys. We will
Yeah.
perform for cash.
So I didn't even know this was happening. Jason Momoa, what is it? Andrew Koji, Noah Centino, Roman Reigns, and talks to star in Street Fighter.
I
didn't know Street Fighter was happening again.
Two of them. So that's for some reason I just laughed at that because two of these guys are coming from DC. One is
Right.
coming from being cut out of a Marvel project. It's like
Let me read
they're
because
just
it's
making their rounds.
it is from. I thought it was fake until I saw it was Hollywood Reporter, and then I'm like, no, this is real.
Then
no
Noah
Centineo.
different.
He's had quite a career. He went from like 10 Netflix movies a year, the 10 bad ones every year. To
Yeah. To
Black Adam. To
Him
now,
and Princess Swindle both they came into Black Adam with Netflix backgrounds.
Yeah. Legendary and Capcom are co-developing the adaptation of the video game franchise to be directed by Kita Sakura. I'm not familiar with Kita. Whoops. Do this here.
Kita Sakurai. That name sounds familiar. I just can't think of where I've heard it. I mean, as long as it's better than the last Street Fighter live action adaptation they did, which again, not hard, but
There's nothing in this article. This is the most blank article I've ever read. It's literally just giving a history on Street Fighter. So there's really nothing. It says Kitao. Wait, is it Kita or Kitao?
Ito.
Up here it says Kita, like Kita, and then down here it says Kitao.
Well, guess they didn't proofread the article.
Yeah. Best known for writing, directing, and executive producing the Eric Andre Show. Oh my gosh.
Oh
Was
wow!
early announced to direct the adaptation. Capcom is deeply involved with the project, with Legendary co-developing and co-producing alongside the video game developer and
I wonder-
publisher.
I wonder if it's pronounced Kata.
I don't know. It's obviously I'm not sure which spelling is right because it's two different ones, so I don't know. I never saw the Chun-Li movie, Jasmine. So did anybody ever see that one?
Yeah, it was okay for, like,
So
as a kid, I didn't have a problem with it, but don't need too much cringe.
So that second spelling down there on the bottom is the right one. I just checked.
So the headline was wrong, or the byline
Yes.
was wrong. Okay.
Yes, the byline is wrong.
Okay. Well, there we have it. I like Street Fighter. Some things work better as video games. And I know Mortal Kombat has a history of really strong storylines in a lot of their more modern games.
Yeah.
And Street Fighter's done an okay job of it. But back in the day, the OG Street Fighter literally was like, hey, I don't like this person, let's fight. That was kind of what it was. So
Honestly, some of the more recent Mortal Kombat games have really kind of fallen apart in regards to their story too. Like,
Really?
I'm of the mind that it hasn't had that strong of a story. I mean, 10 was kind of a strong story, and 9 was like 2/3 of a strong story because 9 was basically 1, 2, and 3, but kind of redone.
mm,
And the Mortal Kombat 1 stuff worked, the Mortal Kombat 2 stuff worked, but then as soon as they got to the Mortal Kombat 3 stuff, that's when it fell apart. And then, like, the one that you had before this most recent one, 11, was like all about time travel, and that one kind of fell on its face.
The showrunner of the Twisted Metal series on Peacock, so that might actually be good then.
I forgot Kristen was in it.
So he was the showrunner of Twisted Metal. That's pretty solid.
Another video game adaptation.
Yeah.
Yep.
So maybe that's why they picked him. Some things work great as animated. Street Fighter should just be an animated film. Not everything needs to be live action. I love. So there was a Street Fighter animated movie from like 20 years ago that I really really liked. And I've seen some pretty good Street Fighter animated like shorts and stuff like that. But yeah, I agree. Not everything needs to be live action.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Tekken, because like they came out with an anime like 2-3 years ago for that, and I mean, did it have problems? Yeah, but it's also like it's probably the best Tekken property we've gotten outside of the video games. And the movie, again, actually there were 2 movies, fell on their faces completely. So like, you know, get people that actually know and care about the source material. Otherwise, you're going to get products like what came before.
Well, so Darren, you don't have to worry about it. Nobody did the mega $50 chat tonight, so that means no open house for. Because that could go crazy. That could go crazy. You guys don't understand.
Really bad.
If somebody super chatted $50 and I had to do that, that would be one of those streams where you never know if you're going to get like a dong hanging out on camera or something like that. You never know. So.
Oh. Okay.
It's like, I mean,
Out of context, we're like, what?
Well, yeah, you missed it, Jake. So I had the banner at the bottom had like if I got a $50 super chat tonight, and I'm not going to do it every stream. But if I got a $50 super chat, I would schedule a stream for 1 hour where I would drop the link to StreamYard in the chat and let anybody come on that wants to come on for 1 hour.
Someone's waiting for payday.
I will offer that every few streams. It's not going to be every stream, but every few streams I'll offer that.
That could either be amazing or the worst decision you'd ever make.
I think it might be fun to see who shows up.
It could.
Oh, before we look at the poll and see who wins, has anybody seen Lilo and Stitch? And if you have, what are your thoughts on it?
I've seen it.
I've not.
Okay. Are you going to see it, Darren?
Soon, probably tomorrow.
Okay. Jake, do you have any interest in it or no?
I'll see it eventually, but I'm not like immediately doing it.
Right. It's funny because I'm actually wearing a Masters of the Universe shirt. We just talked about it.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's pretty funny. So,
that's another thing that got adapted into a movie back in the day.
yeah. Serenity says do it twice a month. Yeah, I'll probably do it again sometime in June, where people can offer $50, and then the next stream will be an hour of just whoever shows up.
Splitting those residual checks, right? Kidding.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so 3Dub, since you're the only one that's seen it, did you like it? Did you not like it?
I had a blast. It was a fun movie. Obviously, it's not as good as the original. It can't hold a candle to it, but at the same time, it was a fun movie.
We also have a super chat, but Jose said that they've seen it as well. Jose, what did you think of it? I'd be interested to see what you think. All right, we have one more super chat here from Cameron, $5 super chat. Have you seen that John Kent has a new code name called Super Sun? And the newest run of The Secret Six, written by Nicole Maines. Super Sun?
As in Dreamer Nicole Maines?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She writes comics now.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She's been given a lot of comics. Apparently, they really like her work because she's been given so many comic books recently.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, more power to her, I guess.
It's a nice transition to go from like being a superhero on a superhero show to being a writer of superheroes.
Dreams do come true sometimes.
It's kind of fun.
Just don't turn around, after being a comic writer for a little bit and then be the showrunner of a show and take it in a really bad direction. Eric Wallace.
I actually would have more faith in Nicole than Eric Wallace, to be quite honest.
100%.
So,
right.
Jose said it was great fun and heartfelt. Might be one of the best live action. I'm calling it now. It is going to be $1 billion movie. Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
Well,
there's only one live action Disney remake, at least in my opinion, that has been as good as the original, or in my opinion, even surpassed it. The only one that has done that for me is Peach Dragon, which I don't even know if the ones here have even seen that.
I've seen it.
Yeah, that's the only one that was better than the original for me.
I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
So here is, I figured I'd pull up a picture while we have the super chat up. Here is the Super Sun character.
here.
Looking a little bit like Man Spider there with all those arms.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to like show like how
Oh,
fast.
yeah, I see it. Okay, because they're like blurred, so it's supposed to show a fast motion.
It's almost like the outfit is a boxing outfit, though. He's got like a hood on it, like over top of it with the boxing shorts and the
Someone's a
lace-up
fan
boxing
of Arrow.
boots. Huh?
Someone was a fan of Arrow.
Oh,
Someone was apparently a Smallville fan because that looks like Clark's jacket and Bart's hoodie rolled into one.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Funny thing is, there was a hoodie put on his jacket in the 10th season, which he did not like, then ripped it off.
Of course you would know that, 3Dub. Of course you would. Anyway, thank you for the super chat, Cameron. All right, let's see what this poll says over here, what you guys have picked. And we're going to end the poll here. So tonight you guys voted on, and this will be for the next stream, 33% voted for our favorite non-DC and Marvel superhero films.
Okay.
So I would say possibly like think of 3, but no more than 5.
Oh yeah, I can easily come up with 5.
And we will talk about it on the next stream. So Monday night, we'll go over it. And
So non-superhero movies?
well, no, superhero movies that are not Marvel and DC.
Oh, superhero movies that are not.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, there's like so many of them that are like cheesy, like some of the younger kids superhero movies. But I know what my number 1 is right now, but I'm not going to spoil it.
Same here. I also know what my number 1 is.
I think we're all probably thinking the same number 1, but we'll
All
see
the
what
Ben
it is.
10 movies. Let's go.
All right. We have another super chat here.
I will say I've got 1 or 2 in here that a number of people in the chat probably don't even know exist.
Okay. Well, the thing about it is this will also give us an opportunity to maybe introduce something to people that they've not seen before.
Yeah.
So, all right.
But then there's that conversation of like, what is a superhero movie? Like, could I say, "Hey, Sonic the Hedgehog, he got superpowers, he saves people."
Like, hey,
there's that debate there.
I would say
hey,
anything where a character is heroic and has superpowers could count as a superhero movie.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. So I mean, you could argue it.
The Mario movie.
maybe. The Gen 13 animated movie. That's funny.
Superhero movie.
Power Rangers would count. Yeah. I mean, they're technically superheroes. So.
Dragonfly.
All right. So, yeah, Spawn would count as well, Darth Zen. We have one more super chat here from Cameron. Thank you again. $5 super chat. In the new Secret Six team, the members are Catman, Deadshot, Dreamer, John Kent is Super Son, John's boyfriend is Gossamer. What's that character's name? The identity? Gossamer? I don't know who that is. Black Alice and Dreamer. So let's take a look. I think this is the picture here of all the characters. So... anyway, yeah. I might have to give this a shot. I like Nicole Maines, and I liked her writing on the Dreamer stuff. So,
did she? Was she involved in the writing of a lot of that?
She wrote the latest Dreamer series. Yeah.
Yeah, she's done a lot of.
Oh, sorry.
Dreamer stuff.
I thought you meant like stuff within the show. Sorry.
Oh no, the comic book run.
Okay. I think she wrote something for the Supergirl show, but she's done a lot of the one shots with Dreamer, and then I think there was like a Superman series too, right? With Dreamer in it. Yeah. So
Jay is Gossamer's real name. Okay, thank you, Serenity. Okay. I might check that out. Is Eric's number 1 Meteor Man? No, it is not. It is not Meteor Man.
God, how many people even remember Meteor Man?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. But yeah, so we'll be doing that on the next stream. That'll be one of the topics we'll do because you guys voted for it. And then we'll knock out some of the other ones on another bonus stream not this weekend, but the weekend after. So you guys want to stick around for that. Anyway, thanks everybody for being here. I do appreciate it. Thank you, Darren, for coming and hanging out. Thank you, 3Dub. Thank you for Jake. Go and show these guys some love on their channels. Would appreciate it to go and give them a shout out. Do you guys have anything you want to talk about before we go? Anything coming up? Any live streams? Anything people could check out on your channel?
I mean, my streams are still the same, but I wanted to give a shout out to this chat because I've seen a lot of the members from your channel slowly come over to my channel and been chatting inside my streams. So shout out to everyone that's been going over on my side. I very much appreciate it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you guys. 3Dub, anything coming up or you just hanging out?
Hanging out.
Okay. Jake, you got anything going on or?
A lot of my normal uploads that I do, throughout the week, I got character costume rankings. Our last one was Iron Man. Our next one upcoming is Deathstroke. A lot of rankings for the Arkham series. A lot of retro reviews, secrets videos for different games. Let's plays that I have going on. I stream on Sundays at 7 Eastern. I'm seeing some of the people that I've met through a number of these communities, kind of like Darren, have kind of come onto mine as well. That's greatly appreciated. I pretty much just named off all the regular uploads that I do. So in between, all my stream appearances, you guys can tune into any of those.
All right. Well, that's it. We're going to get out of here. Wait, I also want to link to Darren's channel. Not sure if I'm subscribed. Let me grab that for you. I'll get it. Go.
Also, Darren, this random side note, Darren, that jacket looks very comfortable.
It is. And this thing's so old, but I refuse to get a new one. I have what is it? I have like a little. Is it this arm? I have a paint mark from like 5 years ago.
That's me with one of my jackets too, because like the shoulder up here has like got a little bit of a tear in it. But if anything, the tear kind of looks like it was attacked by an animal. So I was like, you know what? That kind of looks like a cool battle wound. I'm gonna leave it like that.
Yeah, Last of Us finale coming up. I can't believe we're already done with this season 2, but.
Crazy.
We'll get there. I'll probably talk about the whole season after it's done. So with that being said, we're out of here. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you on